So I got the Brooklyn out on another one of these great boggy ponds that Massachusetts has. I'm going to bang around, see if I can pick up any largemouth bass and probably a pickerel. I'll bet they're on a dragonfly pattern. We had a lot of rain yesterday and it broke a real heat wave. So it should be interesting. I'm standing in the water right now and I believe the water temperature is in the high 70s. So let's check it out. So this is a lake that I haven't fished. Been by it a million times, and I'm starting out just tossing spinnerbait because you know what? Spinnerbaits are a great bait. There we go. I already had a hit. Get a sense of what we've got in a lake. We already had one bang it. It was probably a pickerel. So it's middle of July, so I'm giving it a bit of a burn right now. Because I feel like the burning technique can wake them up. Bass in warm water. Now it's 6 o'clock, 6:15 at night, so these fish have had a chance to, the sun is in. There we go. What do we got here? What is this? Oh, that was a largemouth. I was a little too aggressive with him, but he banged the heck out of it. There we go. Somebody. No, a minuscule largemouth bass. I'm not going to call him stunted, but he didn't look like he had a no belly, so I'm not going to call him stunted, but he wasn't very big. You catch a few fish before you can make a call about stunting in a lake. But there's been some articles I think have a little bit of validity to them that are talking about how there's too many bass in some lakes. I mean, there's just nobody's eating bass. And as a result, you're getting stunting. There's a better fish, maybe. Oh! He spit it. That was a good one. That was a pound and a half or maybe. Nice. And I was working that spinnerbait in the pump style, up and down, up and down. It just gives it a more of an erratic action. I mean, sometimes you can cast a spinnerbait and just reel it in. And that works sometimes when you pump it. A little bit of a pump can give it what they like. Oh, another little guy here. A little bigger than the last little guy, but still a little guy. But a largemouth. You can see he's got that staining, dark, because we're in one of those classic Berkshire Bog ponds where you get that tannic acid and it creates that dark water. And he wasn't fooling around. Certainly pretty lake. Looks like I'm heading up an arm here. I'm sure there's a stream that comes in. Looks like frog country up there. But I will bet you that this lake is no more than 10, 12 feet deep. Maybe not even. When you're burning a spinnerbait, if your blades break the surface like mine just did, don't worry about it. That doesn't do anything but make it look more erratic. The problem is that people will, fishing spinnerbaits, feel like they have to do the perfect, just reel it right in. And it's not that way. It's the more erratic you make it sometimes, the better. I've had really good luck just burning it in though. So there's no one way to do it, obviously. There's somebody right there. Somebody came up and said, I want a piece. Here you are. Oh no. Another little guy. I found a lake with a lot of bass, but they're little guys. And he's off. That's okay. I want to show them to you, but you don't have to wait. You have to wait for another one. Well, we're going to throw one over there. So you can see the majority of the bushes on the shore are blueberry. You got a lot of blueberry up here in the Berkshires. High bush blueberry. I think they call it wild blueberry. My uncle used to call it because the berries were smaller and tartar. He liked blueberry pie. He used to go out and cook them. I mean, he'd pick them, and I just missed one. He'd go out and he'd pick them, and then my aunt would make a pie. And she would mix the berries that they picked at a blueberry farm with the wild berries, and they would be really good like that because the wild berries would be a little tart, right? And these blueberry bushes are doing their thing. There's also some mountain laurel, of course, because we're up in the high Berks. And I've been in the middle of some of those laurel hells, as they call them. Got one. Ooh, a better fish. They actually call them a hell. The laurel hell. Yeah, I think we got some stunting going on in this lake. You can see there's several beaver dens, lodges, several beaver lodges here. There's always fish in a beaver lodge or around the beaver lodge, whether it's being used or whether it's an old one. And that one right there is an old one. Now beavers will still live in an old one on lakes especially when the babies, the small beavers, get kind of tossed out by their mom. They'll kind of act like squatters in the old lodges that have been abandoned. So this lake once upon a time belonged to the Connecticut Girl Scouts of America, and it was their Girl Scout camp. I don't know how many thousand acres of land they owned. They owned a pretty good amount of land in addition to the lake. And Girl Scouts, like all scouts, are not doing that well right now, and they sold this 5 or 6 years ago to a group that bought it, and they're doing some different stuff. There's one. They're doing like what you might call new age stuff. Oh, what do we got here? No, it was a feisty little largemouth. Came up with his fin exposed as if he was a perch. So I thought he was a perch for a second. But no, just a little largemouth. And while the lake isn't posted, it's not got a welcome sign up either, so I'm not going over near the populated shore. It's just an old Girl Scout camp over there, but they're still using it, as I said, for this new kind of crystal age. Is that the right way to say it? I don't even know anymore. What are they doing there? So like so many of these little raised bogs, it's got its bass in it. It might have perch. I haven't caught a pickerel, and I'm kind of upset. But because the Connecticut Valley Girl Scouts were in here, they might have tried to kill the pickerel off, because those guys will bite little girls' fingers. And little boys' fingers, too, if they're not careful. I've had kids in my class that were, like, terrified of pickerel, like it was a vampire or something. I won't touch a pickerel. What do you do when you hook one? Come on. If you're gonna hook it, learn how to take it off. Pickerel aren't that hard to take off. Grab them tight and go to work. And hope you get one on something like a spinnerbait with only one hook, because if you've got more hooks, you got problems. Well, you know, depends. I mean, if you're a veteran, no. But look at the size of those white pines on the bank, too. Those are beautiful. Beautiful big white pines. And I imagine these ones here, this one here, the one behind it, those are probably 100 years old. These are young woods. All these forests out here in southwestern Mass are generally young woods. Well, we had a little bit of fun just banging around on some new water. There's bass in it. That's what we wanted to know. Maybe we'll come back when it's a little more propitious to do so. Like when there's, I don't know, when there hasn't been a heat wave, made the water temperature go up 10 degrees, I don't know, something like that.